Assalamualaikum and hello to our lecturer for HTT 451, Principle of Tourism, Dr. Nurliza. My name is Nur Yasmina Ziha binti Yusuf, and along with my group members Elina Bete, Nurina Dira and also Angku Nur Umaira, allow us to bring you to explore Kuala Selangor Fireflies at Kampung Kuantan Fireflies Park. Before we explore more in details about this Fireflies Park, I will briefly introduce to you about this attraction. So, this park was founded by the local villager of Kampung Kuantan known as Mr. Jalaluddin and was first operated in the year of 1970. This local entrepreneur established this Fireflies Park in a small-scale family business before the business got recognition from the local agency such as the NGOs, MNS and Wetlands Internationals, which is to ensure the sustainability of this tourism potential Fireflies Park. Besides, the Worldwide Funds for Nature Malaysia (WWF) also taking part in this sustainability project by providing the management proposal as part of their participations in expanding the statewide conservation strategy. While the visitors enjoyed the sampan ride along the Selangor River to watch the fireflies, this species is known as the Theroptic Steiner, which their behavioral pattern is attract to the ecology of the mangrove tree in the Kampung Kuantan. Since Kampung Kuantan has mangrove tree and the berembang tree along the rivers, thus these two trees are known to be the causes that attract more fireflies during the night time. Besides, the study shows that the fireflies live in the big colony and more likely to stay within the young leaves. This makes the Kampung Kuantan Kuala Selangor Fireflies Park looks so breathtaking at night because of the natural lights that come from the fireflies. Now moving on to the next slide, which is about the locations. This Fireflies Park is located at Sungai Selangor, Kampung Kuantan, which is about an hour drive from Shah Alam. Although this Fireflies Park is located beside the river, however, it is still easily accessible as it is situated approximately 56 kilometers from the city center of Kuala Lumpur. Thus, due to that, this attraction has attracted over 2,000 visitors in a month, with half of the visitors are local people from Malaysia.
The park will open at 7:45 and it will close at 10:30 at night, but it is advisable to come earlier so that you can plan your time properly. For the entrance fee, the tour will charge 15 ringgit for the adults and 8 ringgit for the children who below than 12 years old. Meanwhile, for the boat service fee, it will cost you 50 ringgit per boat and the maximum number in the boat is 4 people, not included the boatman. Here is the list of facilities that provided in the Kampung Kuantan Firefly Park. These facilities have contributed a good impact for the local and the tourists as it provides for the welfare, the social, educational, the leisure, the recreational and the cultural needs for the tourists and for the community itself. Besides, this facility gives a positive impact as it can create a sense of place and provide more opportunities for the people itself so that they can meet and interact socially. The park also cooperates with travel agency, and this is the list of the most recommended and popular tour that provided by this place. The following activities are mostly included with meals and transportation from Kuala Lumpur or any place in the cities. They will take the visitor to experience the attraction nearby and save the best for the last, which is the Firefly Show. The tourists can choose which tour they want by booking, but if they choose to walk in, there will be only one given choice, which is the Firefly Tour only. Next, we will look at some basic precautions and things that you should know before you go for the Firefly Tour. First, the visitor need to book the tour package earlier and it is not encouraged to walk in. You can book through online booking with various travel booking platforms such as the Viator, the Club, TripAdvisor and Get Your Guide. Second, for the attire tips, the visitors are recommended to wear sport attire with sport shoes or rubber shoes and prepared with the mosquito repellents. Last but not least, the visitor had the option to choose whether they want to ride sampan or motorboat. To experience a peaceful and calm situation, it will be better for the tourists to go for a sampan. Also, using sampan is much more eco-friendly as it can lessen the destruction to the habitat surrounding and it can avoid pollution to the environment of the Firefly Sanctuary.
We go for the next. Kampung, Kuantan, Firefly, Kuala, Selangor is categorized as ecotourism. The main goal for ecotourism is to experience the nature without damaging or disturbing its habitat. As we can see at Kampung Kuantan, provide a good example of ecotourism services where it includes the participation of the local boatmen in ferrying tourists along the river to observe the fireflies. So here is the impact of tourism to local economy, social, environmental and cultural. We will explore together on the negative and positive impact. The attractiveness and rich and ecological sources have attracted the government to develop the facilities, contribute also toward improving the financial status. Also, the Hong Kong Bank Malaysia Berhad has also supported the Kampung Kuantan conservation-based activity. While on the negative side, local people are threatened by all of these middlemen. There is increased demand in the area and developed facilities have increased the cost of living. Fireflies light up the surrounding without causing harm to other birds. There have been awareness among the villagers on the preserving fireflies habitat and also they have been keeping the river clean. The place also become more well-kept. There have been abundance of natural species are exposed to harm and have been motorized boat affect the fireflies and the tranquility of the mangrove area. This too is the negative sides of the environmental.
The first positive impact of tourism towards social is preservation. Many tourists will visit the Kampung Kuantan Fireflies Park to see the uniqueness of the local attractions, flora and fauna that can give them a great moment that they can share with others. This will give the biggest reason to make an effort to preserve the nature. The next positive impact is strengthen the communities, which local people can increase their influence on tourism development as well as improve their job and earning prospect through tourism-related professional training and the development of the local destinations. The last positive impact is the provisions of social services. The negative impact towards social is social change. Changes in the way culture works or perform are referred to as social change. Unfortunately, tourism has resulted in several undesirable adjustments. For example, the local will try to adapt to the tourist style where they have changed how they speak and how they dress. Lastly is increase in crime and immoral behavior. The first positive impact toward cultural is to educate the tourists. The tourist arrival will give the opportunity to the local by making handicraft, local tradition and art to sell to the foreign tourists that will educate and inform them about our culture. Next is cross-cultural interactions. We proceed to the negative impact of the culture. Users motorized boat to catch up the demand. The tourists feel unhappy about the changes in the mode of transport from sampan to the motorized boat as they cannot feel the community-based cultural experience. The next negative impact is culture shock. The tourists need to adjust and adapt their human needs according to their way of living in the local communities, leading to an acculturation effect. The next slide is about the suggestions. For the local, the increases in fees by the local authority should be shared between operators and the agency. Next, for the socials, which the local have to keep their authenticity so that the place is worth visiting, especially when it comes to visiting the attractions that they have. For the environment, we recommended for the villagers to use a sampan or rowing during the tour to save the environment and avoid the pollution by using motorized boats. Next, for the cultures, which the local community needs to play roles in making sure that the tourists that visit their place is comfortable with the surrounding. Last but not least, before we end our presentation, we would like to conclude that the sustainable tourism will take a long-term strategy to examine the requirement of the future. If the sustainability is done or going well, it will ensure the longevity of the tourism industry in the area and it will take care of a good environment. But if it is not done well, tourism development can destroy the environment or culture where it can disrupt the local economies, causes inflation and give negative effects to the people and businesses. Hence, it will affect the populations of the firefly itself.
That's all from us, and let's save our firefly!